Scientists say they include done a move striker in the struggle versus a grain illness how threatens meal safety. Grain is a bracket meal harvest, manufacturing up a 5 of the amount of calories on our sheet. But in lot components of the planet, the harvest is creature attack by stalk corrosion, dark corrosion, a mushroom how can devastate a farm's fields. Researchers of the UK, US and Australia identified gene clues how offer insights in if a harvest will die to stalk corrosion. They found a gene expression in the mushroom how triggers a grain factory's nature defenses. A other path has been found that switches on a grain factory's immunity answer. Stalk corrosion has inflicted harvest epidemics and hunger for millennia. In the 1950s, grain corrosion distribution via polar America and ruined up to 40% of the harvest. With later, scientists include advanced corrosion-resistant varieties to increase grains immune to the mushroom. But the pathogenic is developing all the period. A especially violent tension newly emerging in few countries in Africa and the Medium East, in wines menacing to conduct it future afield. The new study paves the way for fast DNA test of suspicion grain samples of production to see if grain fields requirement to be pulverized in pesticides. To the at first period, it will be probable to do DNA test to identification if a corrosion in a grain harvest everywhere in the planet can surmount a corrosion resistance gene expression, named CP50, that is creature entered in top yielding grain varieties, told Robert Garden, Prof of Stable Farming at the College of Sydney and an investigator on the research. The will specify if or not a taking into account grain harvest as necessary to be pulverized in costly fungicidal rapidly to defend versus corrosion, that would differently ravage the harvest in a question of weeks. The research raises hopes how scientists can hold one move front of the fatal pathogenic, by cultivation new strains of grain for the next. Currently we can watch the evolutionary of the pathogenic, told Dr. Matthew Moscow of the Sainsbury Lab in Norwich, who is not associated in the research. We can forecast its effect on our grain cereal. In the next, we will be capable to do clever factory cultivation for impedance to these diseases.